Good morning.
So as usual, we'll just need a blanket or something to sit on for the beginning. So I'm sitting on a blanket, Vivek is sitting on a blanket, and we're going to spend most of our time on the floor. And we're going to use a strap. So as always, if you just have a bathrobe tie, you can use that. Vivek is going to use a regular yoga strap. And then I have my favorite strap. I got it at Gaiam, but I think they also sell it on Amazon. It's my favorite strap because it has the little loops all the way. So this way I can just relax into the posture and not have to worry about gripping my hands to hold the strap. So I wanted to share that because if it's something you're interested in, you know, they're super, super cheap. Like I said, this was like a free gift with purchase from Gaiam, and it's super well made and I love it. It's my favorite thing other than the blanket. So that's all we're gonna need, and that's my little product promo. I don't get any endorsements from that whatsoever. No money, nothing. So begin in your comfortable seat, whatever that looks like. So finding your comfortable seat, commit to sitting in that comfortable seat without moving for a few moments. And then place your hands wherever they will rest comfortably, and commit to leaving your hands still. Close your eyes and commit to keeping your eyes closed for the next few moments. And allow your attention to seek out any sounds outside of your home. Bring your attention in and seek out any sounds inside of your home. Move your attention into the room that you're in. Notice sounds around you. And then bring your attention to the sound of your breath. As you notice your breath, bring attention to the sensation of your body breathing. As you inhale, your belly, midsection, and chest expanding. Notice how your body feels during that expansion. The sensations in your chest, your belly, your midsection, your upper, middle, and lower back. And then exhale. And notice the way your body rests. As you inhale and exhale, notice where you feel that sensation in your body. As you inhale, do you feel expansion in your chest and your upper back? As you inhale, do you feel that expansion in your belly and your lower back? There's no judgment here. We're noticing our breath, the clear, detached eye, curious. Where do we feel these sensations? When I inhale, do I feel tension somewhere? As I sit up with an erect spine, focused on my breath, does it bring to light areas of tightness? Or do I feel completely comfortable? Staying with that breath, noticing the sensations in your body. Perhaps you want to keep your eyes closed. Then inhale, lift your chest, and then with an exhale, just hinge forward at your hips. Maybe your hands touch the floor in front of you. Maybe your hands stay rested right where they were. And as you come forward, your chest stays lifted as your hips hinge forward, your belly comes forward. And now as you notice your breath, where do you feel that expansion on your inhale? On an exhale, walk those hands back. And if your legs were crossed, let's uncross them and cross them in the opposite way. So we're going to stretch our hips out evenly. Inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, tilt that pelvis forward. And again, maybe your hands touch the floor in front of you or they stay resting on your thighs. Our chest stays lifted and we're noticing our breath. On an exhale, walk those hands back. With your hands on your knees, inhale, tilt your pelvis forward, take your chest forward, and then to the right. Exhale, leaning back, and to the left, creating a circle, moving with your breath. Perhaps one rotation is a full breath. Perhaps you want to move even slower to where one full rotation is 2 breaths. Remember, we're looking for sensation, not a destination. So you want to really feel what's going on in your hips, your lower back, your belly. And then when you find that midpoint, we're going to reverse directions. And see if you can really enjoy just moving your body in a gentle way. When you find a still point, come back to center. Lift the chest. Close the eyes for a moment. Breathe here. Take that inventory. When we take the inventory, we're not just looking to see how our body feels at the beginning of our practice. We also want to know how our mind is feeling. And see if we can just take a moment to acknowledge any thoughts, any feelings going on. And then just put them aside. Not forgotten, just off to the side. Let's come to our backs. Let's meet on our backs. We're going to have our straps nearby. So if you have a sensitive hips or lower back, maybe you want to have the blanket flat so your hips are slightly elevated on the blanket. Otherwise, move the blanket off to the side. I'm going to have the blanket under my hips. I'm going to come to my back. And let's bring our knees in towards our chest. And again, you can have your hands on top of the knees or behind the thighs. And just find the movement that feels good here. So it could be moving from side to side or back and forth. So just give yourself a moment to just see what feels good here. Adjust yourself. Whenever I do this posture and I'm rocking from side to side, I always notice things in my back. You know, I sometimes feel like I can feel my organs. I don't know if that's true, but I'll rock it and I'll notice a super tender spot somewhere. And so it's just nice to take that little inventory. And then just take your hands, one hand to the top of each knee, and we're going to circle those knees out. So remember, when we're circling out, we're really focusing on that hip joint. So make the circle big, not fast, big. And we're circling the knees out and away from each other. Noticing that sensation, those feelings in the hip joint. Stir in the pot. One more in this direction, and then just pause. Those knees are open wide, the hands are resting, applying just a light pressure, and then we're gonna rotate in the opposite direction, or as I always think of it, as the awkward direction. So for me, that's circling the knees in towards each other, opposite direction from what you had done initially. And sometimes, because this is more uncomfortable or awkward, it really does give us a chance to notice the sensations, because we can't just go through the motions almost unconsciously. It takes a little more effort, so you're like, oh, I can really feel that. And one more. And then let's take the feet to the floor and just windshield wiper, rock those knees from side to side. Release anything that's stagnant. Check in with that lower back. And then I've got my strap handy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a half happy baby. So there's options. You just take your hands right behind that right thigh, pressing the foot up towards the ceiling and bringing that right knee towards the right shoulder. I've got my left foot still planted on the mat. If you want, you can extend that left leg, right? So if that feels good, you can extend it. Our big goal though is we want to keep our hips stable. So we don't want our hips popping up. So if extending your leg means you have to kind of rock sideways or something, keep that foot bent. You can also take your right hand to the outside if that feels okay. And again, that left leg can be bent or straight. And I've got my strap because that's another option for the half happy baby. You can take that strap, and I've got my little loops here. I love my loops. And again, I'm just holding on. The strap's a nice option if you feel some strain in your neck or shoulders. And then you just want to breathe. And remember, I'm holding these postures all for 10 breaths. If today is a 5-breath day for you, it's a 5-breath day. There's no story around it. There's nothing. It's a 5-breath day. So I like to let you know that 10 breaths. So if you get to 5 and your body says that's good for today, respect that. One more breath. And then we're going to release and take that right ankle onto the top of the left knee. And just maybe jog that knee up and down. Sometimes it feels good to be still. Sometimes it feels good to have a little movement. So from here, we're going to extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to take the leg back towards us. So if you don't have a strap, extend the leg up and just take your hands behind your thigh, right? And you're just taking that leg up and then towards the right shoulder. If you have a strap, you could take that strap around your foot and you're still bringing it towards that shoulder. Again, my left foot is on the mat. You can extend that left leg, but with that left leg extended, I've got to work really hard to make sure my hips are staying down, right? Because we're working the hips. So I want those hips to really stay engaged. So I've got my left hand here on my hip, or I can just bend that knee and focus 100% on just my right hip. It's up to you. Everybody's hips are different. Some people need to have that left leg extended so you can feel more sensation. Just depends. And I have my legs straight, and I always say ish, because you don't want to hyperextend and then we're pulling back. So you have a tiny micro bend, and you're just bringing that leg towards the right shoulder. relaxing. 10 breaths. One more breath here. And now we're taking the leg towards the left eye. The hips are still staying down. So my leg is coming towards my left eye. And you can't see it, but I've taken my right thumb and I just have it in my right hip crease to remind me, keep that right hip down. So that means maybe I can't bring it back as far, right? So I'm bringing it towards my left eye. I've got my right thumb reminding me to keep the hip down. If I took my hand off, I could come up further because I've lifted up my hip. But that's not what we're all about. We're all about doing things the right way. So that hip stays down, leg comes towards the left eye. 10 breaths. When I say 10 breaths, it's 10 deep, luxurious, elongated breaths. And bend. Let's take that right ankle over the left knee. And again, we'll just bounce a little bit. Nice little movement. And then just shift those hips over to the right side of your mat. And we're going to drop the knee and the foot down to the left side. And remember, if this is not comfortable, having the right foot on the floor and all of that, just take the knee and stack it. Remember, you have options for your body today. As you lay here, if you find you need a little more sensation or your hips are at that point, you can always take your right hand and hold on to your left foot. But maybe this feels good right here. You just want to enjoy it. Allow your hips to open up here in this twist. Feel your breath expand your lower back. And let's come on back up. Scoot those hips back, take the right foot down. We're going to come into our half happy baby on the left side. So remember, you can have the hands behind the thigh, the foot pressing up, and I'm bringing that left knee in towards my left shoulder, or I can take the hand to the outside, bringing it down, or I can use my strap. You pick the option that works best for you today. Or just experiment, play with something new, see how it feels. And then we want to keep that right hip down as we bring the left knee towards the left shoulder. That foot's pressing up. You want to bend that knee towards your shoulder. Oh, I got loose there. Okay. Just 10 breaths. Use those 10 breaths to really enjoy the sensations. Don't try to rush through it and 1, 2, 3. Really go 1. How's that feeling? 2. Where's it deepening? Just enjoy yourself in that posture because you know you're only there for 10 breaths. One more breath. And release. Take that ankle right over the knee. And again, find that movement. Knowing you only have 10 breaths in a posture gives you unlimited freedom to really enjoy that posture because you know there's a definite end. And I can really just fully immerse myself in every sensation because I know what that end is. And then we're going to take that leg up straight. So remember, you can have your hands behind your thigh. You don't have to use a strap. And we're just taking our leg towards our right eye. Rest, relax those shoulders, relax your jaw. Really press those hips down. So our leg is coming towards our right eye, but our hips are pressing down. One more breath. And then let's take our leg towards our left shoulder. And we're really pressing that right hip down. And again, you can always extend the leg, but really we're focusing on the hips, so you want to make sure you always maintain the integrity of the hips. One more breath. And then just cross that left ankle over the right knee. Nice little bounce here if that feels good. And then scoot those hips over to the left. And then drop the knee and the foot over to the right. And remember, you can make those adjustments that this feels comfortable and supportive for you. The big reason why we've left the ankle crossed over the knee is then when we go into the twist, it's a little deeper for the hips as well. One more breath. Inhale, come on up to center. Take that left foot down to the mat. And then just take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall open. We're in our reclined butterfly. And just take your hands to the inside of your thighs. Your hands are just resting. And we are actively pressing our knees towards the floor. So our hands aren't pressing. This action is activated right from our hip joint. We're pressing towards the floor. We're breathing. And then I just want you to bring those knees in. We're going to just windshield wiper them from side to side for a moment. Take a few breaths. And then extend your legs out. Your feet as wide as the mat. Take your arms to your side. And we're just going to do a little open-eyed savasana. So I just want you to pause here. Your eyes are open. And you're taking a moment to really notice those sensations in your hips. We're not going to move past them. We're not going to muscle through or try to ignore them. We're going to take these moments to just really feel the sensations. We're not going to create any story around it. If it burns, if it throbs, if it's pulsating, those are just adjectives. It's just like saying the sky is blue. My hips are throbbing. Just acknowledge it. And then bend those feet flat on the mat. And take your arms overhead. We're in a little bridge. So take your feet as wide as the mat, close to your bottom. And then on an exhale, we're just going to lift our hips, lift the pelvis. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And I'm just lifting and lowering my pelvis. So really, I'm lifting, and as I lower, my booty is just tapping the mat. So I'm not coming full down on my back. It's just lifting, lowering. So we're doing little pelvic tilts here. We have our arms up overhead so that the whole focus is on the pelvic area. Our hands aren't pressing down, helping in any way. Our feet are just stabilizing us. Nice pelvic tilts. A few more. Really loosening up that hip area, the lower back. One more. Bringing it down all the way. And then taking your arms beside you. And then let's bring our feet closer to each other. Maybe so close that they touch, or maybe close. Just depends on how your hips feel today. And so with those feet close to each other, snug the shoulders under just a little. And then exhale, lift those hips. Your feet are close, your hips are lifted. See how this feels. Lifting your hips, your chest is lifted. Maybe take a little gaze towards your knees. And then relax your head, come down, relax your hips. We're gonna come back into that bridge again. But now you set yourself up to where it's a comfortable bridge. Press the hands down, press the hips up, press the feet down. The feet are close to each other. And if it feels comfortable, if it's okay, lift that left leg up. We're only here for 5 breaths. Take that leg down, press the left foot down, raise the right leg. 5 breaths. Exhale, come on down. Press the hips up one more time. Bring it down. Just pause here a moment. We're going to come into that same bridge with leg lift again. You know it's coming. How do you feel about that? Those feet close to each other. Lift those hips. Lift the left leg, and then 5 little pulses. Those hips pressing up and then coming down. Switching sides when you are ready. 5 little pulses. Coming down, taking the feet back together, coming back to that reclined butterfly. Breathing into those hips. Three more breaths here. And then let's bring those knees back together and let's meet up in seated. Back in your comfortable seated position, we're going to inhale those arms up. Exhale, twist over to the right side. Nice tall spine. Maybe you look over that right shoulder. Breathe. Inhale the arms up. Exhale over to the left. And again, maybe look over that shoulder. And inhale back to center. Just take that left arm up, bend at the elbow, and using the right hand, little stretch. Lift the chest. Inhale those arms up and let's switch sides. One more breath. Let's release, shake it out. So it's funny. Let's take our hands behind our backs and just clasp the hands and draw them down our tail. Lift the chest. So it's funny that we're doing these stretches today and I have Vivica here beside me because it has taken me years to be able to do these kind of stretches. Even as a little kid, I have had not a whole lot of mobility in my shoulders and in my arms. And my mom was always somebody who could just clasp her hands behind her back. And when I was a kid, she used to do this funny trick where she would just reach her hand over her back and she would unhook her bra with one hand over her back. And as a kid, that was like, oh my God, that's like magic or something. But she could always do that. She didn't have to work at it. It wasn't something she spent days and days developing. She was just born being able to do that. And even as a kid, I just could never do something like that. So it makes me laugh because my kids can do those things and they've been able to do them since they were little. And it always makes me laugh because it's just a reminder. Then let's just shake those shoulders out. It's just a reminder to me that there are just some things our bodies can do naturally without any assistance or training. And there's just some things our bodies cannot do. And to try to compare your body and your experience to someone else's seems insane when you consider that some people are just born with certain physical abilities or limitations. So anyway, it's just when we were doing that, I thought of it, had to share. So let's come back to our butterfly. And you can hold on wherever you hold on when you're in butterfly. So maybe it's your knees, it's your calves, it's your ankles, or your feet. We're working on the hips here. So wherever you hold on to, you have to make sure you're not rounding or hunching in any way, because here in our butterfly, we're just tilting forward at the hips. So as you can see, my back is still neutral. I'm not, right, getting my head to my feet. My goal is trying to get my belly to come forward between my thighs. That's where the work is happening. 10 breaths. Two more breaths. Let's release. We're going to come back to that butterfly, but let's do half butterfly seated. So extend that left leg. The right knee is bent, and we're doing the same thing. We're hinging forward at our hips, right? So I'm coming forward, my chest is staying lifted. Maybe I have blocks beside me, right? To just provide a little reminder of not to hunch and round. And I'm just coming forward, my belly is coming forward, my hips are coming forward, my chest is staying lifted. So for some of you, you may have so much mobility in your hips that you just like come down and you're able to maintain that pelvic tilt. But you want to be aware. So as I'm moving forward, I'm only focused on my pelvis. Maybe you're doing a little rocking, you know? And then you find a still point. One more breath here. And release. Let's switch legs, extending the right leg, bringing the left foot in. Nice erect spine. And then as I exhale, I'm tilting my pelvis forward. The whole movement is initiated from my hips. My chest is staying lifted. Maybe noticing differences from one side to the other. And because I know I only have 10 breaths, I'm just enjoying it. Enjoying the whole posture, every sensation. One more breath. Let's release and come right on back to butterfly. And I'm still, my chest is still lifted, and I'm just hinging at my hip. Noticing how my hips feel. Noticing where I'm holding tension. And seeing if maybe those areas where I'm holding tension, I can try to release so that all my focus can go right to my hips. So if I'm feeling like my shoulders are tense, maybe I can relax my shoulders so then I can focus on finding mobility in my hips. Give yourself 3 more breaths here. Exhale, release, straighten those legs out, and then really shake those legs. Whenever I do this, you know, I always have a Beyonce moment where I'm all, I don't think you're ready for this, Jen. Okay, I'm just saying, just really shake it out, really enjoy it. You're at home, nobody can really see. And then begin to just rock from side to side. So I'm leaning forward and I'm just swaying from side to side. See if there's any little something maybe in your lower back you want to release. And then maybe lean back, rock side to side. And then slowly begin to find your comfortable Shavasana position. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that feels like for you. I'm going to come sit closer to you while you get settled. So if you want to put a bolster under your knees or cover yourself with a blanket, remember you've created your nest on the bolster. Make yourself feel comfortable in your space. We spent a lot of time working on our hips. And I know you've heard before in yoga, the issues are in the tissues. We say it all the time, and it's true all the time. And for some reason, we carry issues in our hips. I don't know why. I read a lot of stuff, and there's all different theories and reasons. And some people say, oh no, that's not true, and other people. So we know our bodies hold on to whatever we're dealing with. And the hips are a big area. So when you start working on those big areas, emotions come up, feelings come up, and we have to figure out how to engage those feelings. So here in your Shavasana, in your relaxed position, take a few moments to experience the feeling and mood of your body. And as you're doing this, locate a feeling or emotion that's present and sense where and how you feel this emotion in your body. Now imagine this feeling or emotion walking in through a door or stepping into a meadow. Go with the first image that appears in your imagination. What does your feeling or emotion look like? What is its shape, form, color, size? Is it formless, or does it take the shape of a mineral, rock, plant, animal, person? If it's a human being, how old is it? What does it look like? How's it dressed? And just take a few moments and simply welcome with your imagination the shape and form your feeling, your emotions take. Now imagine this feeling or emotion standing or sitting in a chair at a comfortable distance from you. And you're going to ask your feeling or emotion 3 questions. First, you'll ask it your question, then you'll imagine yourself as the feeling or emotion speaking the answer back to you. The 3 questions you'll ask are: what do you want? What do you need? And what actions are you asking me to take? Ask your emotion or feeling, what do you want? And listen to what it has to say. Now ask, what do you need? And listen to what it has to say. Now ask, what actions are you asking me to take? And listen to what it has to say. Take these moments to reflect on what you're experiencing in your body, in your mind. Be with your emotions. What do you want? What do you need? What actions are you asking of me? And listen to the answer. Now ask yourself, where do you feel these emotions in your body? Is it in your belly, your chest, your throat, your head? arms or legs. How would you describe this feeling or emotion that you're experiencing? What is its shape, its form, its color? Is it heavy or light? Stay with your experience, just as it is, whatever it is, and however it appears to you. Notice how you're breathing. You're breathing in your belly, your midsection, your chest. You're breathing long, deep, and slow. Or shallow and quick. Just take a few moments to simply experience the sensations that are present in your body, that are this feeling or this emotion. Begin to deepen your breath. And as you deepen your breath, begin to bring small movements back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Circling your wrist and ankles. And stretching your arms and legs and enjoying moving after being still. And slowly roll over to your favorite side and just use that time lying on your side as an opportunity to create that bridge. The bridge between your practice and the rest of your day. Slowly come to your comfortable seat. And if it feels comfortable, take your hands to your heart, lowering your forehead, taking a moment to honor yourself and honor your practice. Allowing me to thank you for sharing your practice with me, sharing your practice with each other, and most importantly, for taking time for yourself. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.